Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. You have reached Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time coming to my channel, I appreciate if you subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you happen to like this video, please press the like button. I would really appreciate it. Today, I'm going to talk about, first of all, let me back up a little bit first and say this. This face beat I have today is because I did a photo shoot. So don't be expecting this every time you come to my channel. You may see it every now and then. You'll see it, when I'm doing something and I happen to just get my makeup done. Other than that, you're going to see plain face Cheryl. So, if you like it, I hope you like it. I hope you like it today. I really had a good time on a photo shoot that I did today, but as stated, I don't have a makeup artist in my house and I'm not really good with doing my own makeup, so you won't be seeing this that often. But today I like to talk to you about Miss Robbie from a show that used to be on OWN called Sweetie Pies. I'm sure if you follow other bloggers, you heard about her and you heard about her son who is, now in custody, now in jail, waiting for his trial for allegedly planning the murder of his own nephew. So there's plenty of bloggers that are talking about this, so I really don't want to even get into detail about that with you. I'm here to say, let's pray for Miss Robbie. As a mother of a son, or as a mother, period, any mother can understand that when you love your children no matter what. And I'm sure Miss Robbie is going through a lot right now because you can't stop loving. I'm sure Miss Robbie is going through a lot right now because you can't stop loving a person, especially your son, just because they're accused of a horrific crime or even if they're convicted of a horrific crime. So she is in the most, I would say, worst position right now because the world is hating her son for what he has allegedly done, and she probably is dealing with family members that are probably like split in half and don't know what side to take and what side to be on, because here you have, your one and only son, because she had another son that was murdered, and the murdered son is now, the nephew has died or was murdered because her son allegedly paid someone to murder his own nephew. So it's like, how much devastation can this woman take and go through? Now you have your grandson that has died, and your own son is being going to be tried, is being pinned as the one who hired people to murder him. So it's like, how do you wrap your mind around that? And then while wrapping your mind around that, the world wants you to turn against your own son because of what he has done. And you, because this is a person you gave birth to, you're like, I can't turn my back on my son no matter what he is accused of. So she is in just such a difficult position right now. And I'm sure she is heartbroken. I'm sure she probably losing sleep at night and having nightmares. In addition to that, she's not young. I want to say Miss Robbie is in her 70s or her 80s. And it's like, here you are, between what they would say a rock and a hard place. It's like, you still love your son? Do you support your son? Knowing that maybe he is the reason why your grandson is no longer alive. He is the reason why perhaps all of the money, because if you have not been following this story, it goes back to when they was on the show. At one point, she just kept all of her money in her home, like all of her savings, because that's what they did when she was growing up. That's how she was raised, and someone robbed her. And she even said it herself, if you ever watched the show, that whoever robbed me, they knew me because they knew I was out of town, and the way that they tore stuff around in her house, and the way it seemed like, how nobody really broke in. It was just weird. It was like almost like she had this sick feeling probably of who it was. But you never, when you love someone, you just never want to believe that they can be they can do such terrible things to you. And so I'm sure especially she didn't want to believe at that time, and maybe she still doesn't believe, and we actually don't really know for sure, that her son could have possibly been the one that robbed her. And now on top of that, that her son could possibly be the one that paid someone to kill his own nephew and her grandson. So I want to get back to my focus, and my focus is to pray for her. When a mother has to go through something like that, when a mother has to bury a child, when a mother has to deal with maybe a child that is on drugs, when a mother has to deal with a child that maybe has gone off to the left, joined a gang, or is just doing something undesirable, because when, as a mother, when you give birth and when you have a child, your biggest dream is that they become better than you, that they're successful, and whatever, venue or career they decide to do. You just want to see your children flourish, and you want to see them do well, and you want nothing but the best for them. And so when you end up having a child that goes off to the left, so to speak, and maybe they end up in jail, maybe they're on drugs, maybe they're selling their body for sex, I don't know. It's like, you still, as a mother, you can't stop loving your child. So I understand how Miss Robbie is standing by her son and loving her son, because it's like, how could you not? This is someone you carry within you and you gave birth to. And I'm sure if it turns out that he is found guilty, I'm sure that Miss Robbie is not going to agree with what he did, but she still will love her son. And sometimes I think as a society, we have to understand that because you stand by someone, you can stand by them and not agree with what they did, but you're standing by them because you love them, and you're hoping that God will give them grace and mercy, just like he would give you if you found yourself in an unfortunate situation. So although I don't know how I would feel if I was Tim's mother, it's just a lot, but I do know how I feel as a mother, and I do know that I love my son with all my heart, and that no matter what, I would stand by him. But standing by him does not mean that I would condone anything that he did wrong or negative. I would for surely say that, listen, I feel what you did was wrong, but I'm your mother, and I'm going to be here for you, and I'm going to do everything that I can for you. And I really feel that is what Miss Robbie is currently doing for her son, Tim. And so no matter what we feel about Tim, I think the world should embrace and pray for Miss Robbie, which is Tim's mother, because I'm sure this is just crazy for her, and it's difficult times, and it's hard for her to just wrap her mind around the whole situation, because she first lost her first son. He was murdered, I believe. And then her son Tim, after that, had did a crime and spent time in jail. And so when he came out, it was her time to reconnect with him. And he worked in a family business. She owns restaurants. And now for him, After all of that, after all she tried to do for him, after she waited for him to get out of jail, she gave him a job, she supported him, and for him to just turn around and end up right back where he came from, but not only in just any old kind of way, in a way where you're being accused of killing a family member, is just horrific. So to Miss Robbie, I don't have access to you personally. I highly doubt you probably will ever see this video, but just in case you ever do, know this. My heart goes out to you. I'm praying for you. I watched the show. I absolutely loved the show when it was on, and I just feel for you, because as parents, there is no book on parenting. We do the best that we can, and I'm sure you did everything that you could for Tim, and you went above and beyond. But here you are at this crossroads right now, and there's not much more I can say to you, but I pray for you, and I hope the rest of the world would join me and just send prayers, love, and blessings your way during this horrible, horrific time in your life. I also want to say, though, to your grandson's mother and that side of the family, my heart goes out to y'all also, because y'all lost a loved one. And not only did you lose a loved one, but you lost a loved one to what is, if he did do it, his uncle, his own uncle, his blood relative, planned with other people allegedly to have his life cut short. So prayers go out to y'all also. And, I hope you can find peace in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. And I will be praying for both of you too, for your his mother and the grandson's mother and Miss Robbie. The last thing I would like to end this video with is to talk a little bit about prison reform. Jail. I mean, I don't know the difference between the two. I'm not going to look it up right now. It's pretty late. But I just want to say this, that I think all jails and all prisons need to have a little bit more of, I guess I'll call it rehab with inside of them. I think they should have more programs where it's meditation, where they're praying, where they're doing yoga, and where these prisons and these jails are not treating people, allegedly, I never been in one, like animals. I can't say for sure, but I heard stories that people can still get drugs while they're in jail, which is insane to me. And if this is the case, I think that needs to be fixed also. And because the real reason why I'm saying there needs to be some type of prison reform is because a lot of these people, after 15 years, 14 years, 5 years, or whatever, they get out of jail and they're back in society. If you were in jail, which is like a bubble, because you don't get to see really the outside world, and you go to sleep and you're locked behind bars. Sometimes these people, and I'm not saying that it's wrong. I mean, if you don't follow the rules, you have to, be prepared to accept the consequences of not following the rules. But they have these solitary confinements. They just have all of these almost inhumane situations that they go through for 15 plus years or 5 years or 10 years or whatever. And then you put them back in society, and what exactly are you expecting to happen? What do you think is going to happen? How do you expect them to just one day go from you're clink and you're behind bars, and while you were behind bars, and this is all alleged, But I heard people, have to try to protect themselves from being raped while they're in prison. It's just, how do you go from living a life like that where it's survival of the fittest in inhumane conditions, and now you go out for parole, or now you just maybe finish your sentence and you're free, and we expect them to just flip a switch, and now they can just go back out in society and everything's going to be okay? None of that survival mentality that they had to deal with while in prison is going to trigger by something on the outside world in the street. I don't know, but I don't want to go off in the deep end with that. That's a whole nother conversation in and of itself. But I just really, really, truly feel that if you want a person, if they go to jail and then they're going to be released, even if it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or years, they should have some more reforms in prisons, in jails, so that when these people get out, they don't come back, because we trained them with a mindset not to come back. We taught them how to pray. We taught them how to meditate. We helped them gain some skill while they were in there, so that when they get out, they can get a job. They can live their life. They can turn their situation around. I mean, Tim was in jail. I don't know what happened to him. And like I said, let me back that up. I don't know if he was in jail or prison, because I really don't know the difference between the two. But he's served time behind bars before. I don't know what happened to him while he was in the prison. I know he came out allegedly, I'm going to say, aggressive a little bit. You saw a little bit of aggression on the show Sweetie Pies when it was on. And it's like, here he was out for just however long he was out, and now he's back behind bars. And unfortunately, this happens more than not with a lot of people that serve time. It's a vicious cycle for them of going back and forth like a ping pong. How do we stop that? We start with some reforms. How do we save lives? How do we save people that they're mixing back within society? How do we save those people and blend a prisoner or a person that has served time back into society? They need support. We need reform. We need to show them that things can be different. Anyway, my whole purpose was to say, pray for Miss Robbie. And I want to get back to that. Miss Robbie, love you. Praying for you. And I just pray that, and your entire family. And I pray that, I just pray that you get through this. Because I know it is your son. And I know this has affected your entire family. But anyway, everyone, thank you. I hope you like my channel. I hope you subscribe to my channel. And this is Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. In case this is your first time, the whole purpose of my channel and all of my videos is going to be about my 365-day journey of changing my health, my fitness, my wealth, and everything around full circle. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time.